100 years ago, Jack London produced what is to this day one of the most striking works of literature that I have ever read. It's titled To Build a Fire. To Build a Fire is 16 pages long. It is about a man freezing to death. He doesn't start freezing, however, nor does he start alone. A large wolf dog accompanies him on his journey. The narration also states that the man was quick and ready in the things of life, but as becomes increasingly apparent, regardless of his confidence or preparation, his greatest failure was he was not able to imagine. 50 below zero meant 80 degrees of frost. Such facts told him it was cold and uncomfortable, and that was all. It did not lead him to consider his weakness as a creature affected by temperature, nor did he think about man's general weakness, only able to live between narrow limits of heat and cold. A later passage reads, "In reality, it was not merely colder than 50 below. It was colder than 60 below, then 70 below. It was 75 below zero." Because the freezing point is 32 above zero, it meant there were 107 degrees of frost. At this temperature, water spat into the air would freeze instantly, a sound that startled the man, as he had no memory of such an occurrence before. Once in a while, the thought repeated itself that it was very cold, and that he had never experienced such cold. But it did not matter much, he decided. What was a little frost? A bit painful, that was all. It was never serious. The cold, however, is indifferent to such beliefs. It magnifies our flaws, reveals our every imperfection. It does not forgive mistakes. I can count on one hand how many games have left me in the state that inspired this video. If you recognize the music, you and I have in common one of those games. If you've survived late into a round of arc raiders and found yourself peering out on the silent, moonlit scenery at night, maybe enduring the thunder, lightning, and sheets of rain during an electric storm, we may share two of those games. I wasn't able to film all of this story. Like To Build a Fire, it is short, conclusive. But as you watch and listen along, you will see the moment where, just as the man realizes there is no one coming to save him, there's a similar experience here. It's the moment where the world goes quiet. The scrambling for life is over, and all that is left is to be as you have become. Alone. You approach the launch terminal, knowing only a few hundred feet separate you from the other raiders. Some are already topside. Many, like you, have just initiated the startup sequence. The system hums to life. Alarms blare, lights flicker red. You pull yourself up a creaking, rusted ladder, arms sore from the previous raid. Settling down into the rough pneumatic capsule, you reach up and seal the hatch, slamming it closed and strapping in as the countdown echoes. You close your eyes for a moment. Then you're slingshotted through the underground veins of Speranza, rocketing upward in a blur of speed and sparks, G-forces pinning you back as the depths fall away. Then the ascent slows. The pod docks. Doors hiss open, and there you are, stepping into the lift chamber. The platform creaks under the new weight of you and your gear. A storm rages outside, wind hissing and rain biting at the walls of the stairwell. You hear gunshots in the distance, the reliable thud of an anvil striking arc plating. You look down at slightly shaky hands. Pressing your thumb into the cylinder release latch, you swing it open, wondering if those upgrades were worth the cost. 6 shots now. You know you'll likely run through both boxes of heavy ammo you brought. You wonder if it was enough. You reach into the bag hanging from your hip, 2 sterilized bandages and a stack of basics. and that defib you picked up from the medical center in damn Battlegrounds. You didn't start out freezing. You were prepared. But like the man from Jack's story, did you lack imagination? As I sprinted between the industrial cement features of spaceport's launch tower peripherals, I heard mortars whistling overhead, impacting the bunker just below the South Trench Tower. Inside, 2 raiders had been trapped between a rocketeer and a bombardier. Rounds ripped out from the slim opening in the structure, tearing at the rocketeer's thrusters. I heard a familiar crack of a ferro and thump of a suppressed anvil. The bombardier did not notice as I approached from the south. I checked my pack for my deadline mine. It was there. I held out my photoelectric cloak, and just as I pressed the button, something felt wrong. Before I could roll, I was crushed. Staggering to my feet, I glanced into the giant red eye of a leaper, then threw myself out of its concussive blast. I looked up only to see the zeroing in of the Rocketeer's guidance systems. With my cloak gone, 3 bright lights swarmed towards me, and then nothing. I ragdolled to the ground. I was about 50 yards from the extract, and so I crawled. When I arrived, the extract light was red. I checked the time. We had more than 10 minutes remaining till the arc orbiter drops. It must have been one of the first to close. Had it been 20 minutes already? Things were not going well. And so I crawled again. This time in the direction of the bunker. The heavy rain and wind made being heard almost impossible, but I yelled out as I dragged myself along the cold, wet sand, hoping my words would reach anyone still inside. I made it to the back door and was greeted by a silent raider with a defib. Before I could thank him, he had revived me and ran. I could see through the slot in the bunker his silhouette, sprinting across the sand past the smoldering remains of the leaper that had downed me earlier. Then the bombardier spotted him. The first mortar broke his shield. Cowering behind the extract panel, he realized he had made the same mistake I had. There was no salvation here. He was now alone. His flare popped as the second mortar made impact. The other raider in the bunker was watching too. I told him I had to go save him, that I owed it to him, that I would be back and we would all extract together. He holstered his ferro and nodded to me. "Okay," he said. I sprinted to the downed raider, now crawling beside the elevator. The bombardier had lost its lock and was crawling across the sand to the rear of the bunker. I reached into my bag and took out my one defib. Slamming it into his leg, he rose, and just as the fight came back into him, a Hornet patrol spotted us, and another. We fired, anvils screaming, arc armor and thrusters raining down from the sky. He desperately swiveled around in circles, stunned. He dove to escape, and then again, he slumped into the sand, trails of bright red sulfur shooting into the sky. I dispatched the 2 Hornets, then retreated into the outcropping, checking my bag again, hoping I had mispacked, that maybe I had another defib. I did not. The cold was creeping in as the last Hornet approached.
Bro, I only had one defib, man. How much do you have a looting Mark III?
Not really. I'm just gonna die whenever I am, man.
Okay, I mean I could stabilize you and ask the other guy how much health you got left.
I'm gonna have to bleed out.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna heal you one more time, and then I'm gonna go ask him.
Okay.
Cause he might have one. Might be a little risky, but it's okay. All right, I'll be right back. I hope you live, man. Yo, bro, you got a defib? Hey. Hey, you got a defib? Yo, 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 yo. Oh, he's dead too. No, dude. The bombardier probably killed him. Yo, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. No, dude. It's just me. Sorry, man. It's a wasteland. Dude. So much heavy in there. Poor guy.
After I made it to extract and pulled the lever, I thought about the raider in the bunker. He watched as his fellow man ran to his death, then watched me follow him. He would have seen 2 flares, as the raider I revived went down twice. He most likely thought himself alone as well, too scared perhaps to leave, armed with only basic equipment, out of healing, seemingly too far from the extract. He may have given up, laid down, and died. In reality, I was still alive. I could have helped. Perhaps all that stood between him and life was believing someone would come, believing he was not alone. We are never as alone as we feel. There is someone out there willing to pick us up once we've fallen. It may just take a little faith, a little hope. We can all extract together, Raider. You are not alone.